A chorus of celebrations were heard all throughout the world, rivaled by prepubescent simpletons when the news that One Direction was splitting a few months back, which became even more apparent after the departure of Zayn Malik. This, however, brought upon its own new wave of anticipation and uncomfortableness when it was announced that only months after him leaving the group, Malik would be embarking on a solo career. This was both awkward and intriguing for two reasons. One, the number of times a person leaving an established group to do their own work, 9 times out of 10, leads to this member depreciating like a stone, and irrespective of how popular the group they were with at the time, there's no guarantee that they would maintain that following. And two, Malik would go on to state in interviews that he wanted to make music that was authentically him, move away from the 1D packaging and create material that he always wanted to make. So naturally this was either going to result in something terrific, or the guy was going to crash and burn. Which of the two would happen? Well, I'm shocked to announce that Zayn has actually surprised me in making something that's pretty decent. It's not incredible by any stretch of the imagination, but in comparison to what we originally know him for, Pillowtalk is a decent debut outing for this guy. A song that is essentially about sex and sexual exploration, verse 1 focuses predominantly on the physical act of intercourse, engaging in both the slow and sensual and hard and vigorous side of sex, with verse 2 centering on the idea of being enclosed in one's physical attraction before a gratifying release of expressing one's feelings for their partner. The bridge goes into the realms of not only physical intercourse, the pain and pleasure it brings between two people, but also the not so physical elements. Malik's desire not to engage only in sex, but to just hold his female love interest and stay like that for a while. The chorus is where Malik freely admits that he wants to lose all inhibitions with his love interest, to the point where he'll happily piss off the neighbours with their reckless, raw and dirty behaviour, describing the act as a paradise and war zone, two conflicting states that highlight sex at its most sensual but also at its most vigorous. In conclusion, this is not only a very solid debut for Malik, but it's also a pretty decent song to boot. Whilst it may be basic in its structure and many may criticise it for its use of profanity, which to some may come off as laughable, since this is someone who was once part of the most manufactured plastic boy bands of the last decades, and he still has a long way to go to shrug off that label. It's a step in the right direction, and I actually applaud Malik for its song. It's delivered with the right amount of emotion, and the instrumentation, which blends elements of electronic music, down-tempo R&B with a brooding and smooth flow and lingering heavy piano chords in the background. I can't believe what I'm about to say, but it's definitely going to be interesting to hear what Malik's album is going to sound like. Will this be one of the best songs of 2016? Probably not, but for starters, you could definitely do a hell of a lot worse than this.